Marcus bloody Scotney! Debbie, you'll need to move on.
Because you marshalled last year, you're able to get a free entry for the Lakeland 100.
Oh, for fuck!
Welcome to episode 2 of Foxcast. I'm Chris Kitchen and I have the privilege of introducing our special guest today, Marcus Scotney. Morning, Marcus. Don't worry, I've asked Mr. Fox not to attend today, so you'll be okay.
Good. It's definitely not here.
Definitely not here.
Okay.
He's out training, believe it or not.
Okay, thank
you. So Marcus, tell us about your experience at the 100k World Championships and how you get on.
Yeah, Chris, last weekend I was out over in Holland in a tiny little town called Winschoten, competing for Great Britain at the World 100k Championships, which was also incorporating the European and World Masters Championships as well. We had a team of 3 athletes in the men's and the women's for Great Britain. I managed to take 10 minutes off my 100k PB, running a new PB of 6 hours 56:12,
Wow.
which is super pleased with. I finished 16th in the World Championships and 4th in the M40 category. Now I'm an old git. We didn't do so well in the team. Unfortunately, Steve Way and Holly Rush had to pull out, but Craig Holgate, he finished 11th in the men's championships as well. And the girls, Joe and Sue, had fantastic runs as well.
Fantastic, brilliant. Is there a difference between road and trail ultras?
Well, obviously the surface
Yeah, I mean obviously
is very different. And with 100Ks, they tend to be pan flat. We don't tend to have any ascent in them. So that's a huge, big difference. But I think mentally and physically, you need to prepare the same as any kind of ultra. But obviously with a road ultra, you have to really concentrate on your pacing as well. You can't go off too fast, and you need to hit a constant pace. So what we were doing at the weekend was just trying to sit at a constant, comfortable pace and maintain that for the whole 100k. You see some competitors who got too fast, get to about 50, 60k, blow up. And because you haven't got things like hills, like you get on the trail ultra, you don't get opportunity to walk. You've got to constantly maintain that pace. In the trail ultra, you come to a nice big hill, you can have a walk, you can ease off the pace a little bit. And also, because of trail ultra, the terrain's so different, your stride's breaking up, so you don't tend to get fatigue in the legs the same as on a road 100k, where the fatigue just creeps in very gradually and slowly because of that constant pounding on the tarmac.
So do you have a race plan for something like this? You've looked at who you're competing against?
You look at other people's times, but for me it was very much about time, what I wanted to do. I really wanted to break sub 7 hours. It's kind of taken 5 years to do that. So I'd gone with a kind of pacing plan. I knew what pace I had to do. You know you're going to slow in the second 50k. So I went trying to get a little bbit faster early on, went through halfway in 3 hours 25, and then just slowed 6 minutes in the second half. So I kind of was very, very strict. And you really have to keep an eye on your pacing, and it's so easy to get sucked into racing with other people in other countries, but you just have to be really disciplined with it.
I mean, how do you prepare for an event like this? I mean, does your prep different between this compared to what you do for the 50?
I mean, so for this training program, I did a 13-week training program leading up to the World Championships. The first half of it was on trail, just because that's what I enjoy, and kind of using preparation leading up to the Lakeland 50. So I was doing a lot of long distance hill work, not so much speed work, just hill sessions and long trail runs leading up to the Lakeland 50. The plan even going into the Lakeland 50 was not to finish it. I know Mr. Fox was quite rude about me just getting to Kentmere again, but the whole plan was to get there so that I could then recover and then start the second phase of the training program leading into the 100k, and that was a lot flatter. I moved the training onto a kind of disused railway lines in the Peak District, and also because the course was a 10 by 10k loop, I was kind of doing my long runs over 10k sections of a high-speed trail, just going up and down at a constant pace, trying to mentally prepare yourself as well. Because you've got to get into that mindset of, this is pretty dull and boring, so how do I cope with that dull and boring? And it's breaking the course down, keeping an eye on your pace. And I also introduced a bit more speed work as well, which I think is really important for ultra running. having that speed work, because you've got to maintain a quality pace the whole way through, you need to have that VO2 max to cope with keeping that constant pace.
So what would your key training sessions be for an event like that?
So the key ones would be some of the long runs,
Yeah.
very similar type to doing marathon training.
How long's your long run?
Anything from kind of 26 up to 32 miles.
Okay.
And would be on the flat, and like 4x10Ks, going up and down a high peak trail, practicing the nutrition, trying to sit at inside 100k pace, which was around 6:30 in training, keep an eye on what heart rate was doing. And then another key session I was doing was a progressional tempo run,
Yeah.
trying over 10 miles, increasing the pace as I went along in that run, just seeing how fast I could get the legs moving, keeping it inside 6-minute miling. And then another key sessions were some of the short hill reps, very, very short, very fast hill reps, trying to increase my top end level 4 running as well with heart rate.
Fantastic. So you touched on your nutrition there. I mean, does your nutrition differ on events like this compared to what you do over trail marathons, trail ultras?
Yeah, because the pace is a lot higher on
Yeah.
100k. I found earlier this year when I did the British 100k champs, I couldn't eat what I call real food, so I make my own energy bars, but my other half makes them for me.
Yeah.
And I can eat those really easily on trail ultra marathons because the pace is that little bit slower, and also when you're going uphill, a bit easier to eat. On the 100k's, I end up just using gels and blocks because it's dead easy to get in,
Yeah.
and kind of isotonic drinks as well. So you're getting drinks every kind of lap. So yeah, it's a lot more simple. But again, I'm kind of a bit geekish and kind of do spreadsheets of what I want and what I'm going to eat every lap. Partly because you have a support crew.
Okay.
Yeah. So my other half, she came out, and it's just easy for her. She just hands your bottle out, the gel or your blocks, grab it, and you keep on moving. So you really got to make sure that you like it,
Yeah.
and I know it works.
Yeah.
Because there's no getting into a checkpoint like an Ambleside and there's a huge big spread laid on for you.
Yeah.
Though it's quite interesting seeing what some of the other countries had available on their tables. But yeah, for me it's very, very rigid. And I know it works. You know, I've tried and tested it.
That's the key.
700k's, yeah. But it's got to be simple because otherwise your stomach just gets aggravated.
Yeah. So before we finish, what's next?
I've just got a little kind of 50-mile, I say little, a 50-mile race coming up in October, dusk till dawn, and then obviously some other plans for next year, which I'm keeping under wraps at the moment. But hopefully next year going back to the 100k as well, to see if I can take it even faster.
Fantastic. No, thank you very much, Marcus.
Brilliant.
I'm sure the viewers will really appreciate the insight into ultra running.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you for having me.
Right, okay, so moving on to LQA, Legends Questions Answered. Just before we go on to that though, Marcus, just a quick one. What's coming up for this month? We've got the first recce on October the 1st, October the 31st, November the 1st. Coniston to Buttermere, a tough section which will be completed in the dark by many runners. It's on the 100 course, but 50 runners are welcome to join us. It's a great training day. And Saturday evening's guest speaker will be Paul Tierney, last year's Late 100 winner. On the Saturday the 7th of November, we're organising the Petzl Night Runner 10k at Delmere Forest in Cheshire. It starts at 7 p.m. Saturday evening, and it's a great trail race throughout a fantastic forest. And if you enjoy night running, at the Endurance Store we organise a back run series. It starts on Tuesday, October the 6th. The events are free to enter on the night, and they take place every Tuesday through to the end of February. The courses change every week, and they're generally 4 to 5 miles on local trails marked with reflective signs. Everyone's welcome. There's free coffee and cake at the end, so we look forward to seeing you. So, moving on to Legends Questions Answered then.
Hey! Come on!
What?
Let the foxy see the Scotney! Come on, Marcus! Come on!
I thought you said Foxy wasn't coming.
I'm sorry. What are you doing here?
You told me it was this afternoon,
No,
but
I
just
didn't.
handily, I was
You didn't
passing.
Mark, I'm really sorry, Marcus. You okay with this? I told you not today.
Well, I was just walking past and I saw your car outside.
Can we just get on with the questions?
No, we'll just get on with it. Sorry, Marcus. Sorry. Right, John Hobbs. Dear Mr. Fox.
Can I just ask, whereabouts are we up to now with this Foxcast? Where are we up
We're
to?
about halfway through.
Halfway through?
Yeah,
That's a good job I turned up. Scotty's about to leave now and drop out. Hey!
Let's just get on with the question, chaps. Can we just...
I'm sorry. So, right, dear Mr. Fox, if the weather forecast is sunny, do I still have to carry all that stupid kit?
Yes.
The answer is yes, and all of the kit is available at a bargain price at the Endurance Store, Wigan, WN6 9AE. Telephone number 01257 251 217.
So backup pro.
Yes. Right, okay. Right, Amanda Kirtley, chaffing advice, Sudocrem or Vaseline, and should I trim the bush?
Well, I'm not very good at topiary, but there's nothing worse than seeing an untrimmed bush when you're out on an ultra marathon. It's always wise to keep kind of your lavender trimmed as well. Nothing worse than seeing something, untrimmed, but I don't do much topiary, so I can't really comment on that. But yeah, I don't use either. I use a different brand. I use Friction Zone, but really important. Nothing worse than getting horrible shaving during an ultra.
Good advice. Mr. Fox?
My advice would be to look at chip fat and lard.
What? Rub it into your skin to stop chaffing?
No, not as anti-chaffing. What I'm suggesting is they stop eating it. Then the thighs will be so fat that they rub together.
Right, okay. Moving on. Helen Crossland, head torch bruising for 2 days after the event. How do you prevent that?
Don't put your head torch on too tight. Obviously, you've got to be put it on super tight for that. If it's a good quality brand, it shouldn't move about. Or put like a headband on, sweatband, or a buff, some kind of protection. But yeah, don't put it on too tight.
Ah, okay.
My advice would be they need to train a bit harder and run it faster, then they'll finish it in daylight and won't need head torch.
I kind of agree with Mr. Fox on that one as well, strangely.
And finally, Julie Lewis. I have entered the Leyland 50, but I absolutely hate the part of the course that goes around Haweswater. Is there any chance you could change the course, or better still, could I do the first part of the course and come home on the bus from Dalemain?
No. That's one of the best bits on the course.
There we go.
I think I need to go with the Scotney here because he's the expert on getting on the buses and going home.
What? That'll do. Let's move on quickly, please.
Right, okay. That's it for Legends Questions Answered. If you've got any questions you need answering for our next show, please use the hashtag LQA and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Right. Thank you very much for turning up today, Marcus. It's been a real privilege. I have to apologise for the interruption of Mr. Fox.
I can't believe you let him come in. I clearly said I didn't want him here.
I do apologise, Marcus, and I promise it won't happen again.
Better not.
Have you got a long way to go home now, Marcus?
I'm going up to Dumfries now. Thank you.
And will you be going all the way yourself or going to halfway and letting someone else give you a lift?
I'm not having that.